In a world where women are shortchanged and overlooked, one industry dares to take gender inequality to a whole new level: Hollywood. That's right, it's the start of the summer blockbuster season. And even though half of moviegoers are women, the film biz is one of the most unequal when it comes to gender. And that's why women directors and the ACLU have filed a complaint, petitioning the government to investigate Hollywood's gender bias. How has it come to this? Let's start with the films themselves. In all of last year's films, women made up a mere 13% of lead roles, and for speaking roles, it was only 30%. In comparison, that's only 5% more speaking roles than in the 1940s and 50s.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
At that rate, women in film won't be on par with men until the year 2295, right around the time rising sea levels wipe out Hollywood. And when we do see women in film, they're often hypersexualized. Over the last few years, 28% of actresses were shown partially naked. That's compared to only 9.5% of men. So unfair. But what about the female powerhouses? Angelina Jolie and Sandra Bullock are running things, right? You'd think, but did you know in 2014 the top 10 actresses made half as much as the top 10 actors? Bullock, the top paid actress, raked in $51 million, but the top paid actor of that year, Robert Downey Jr., made $75 million. And last year's leaked Sony emails further confirmed Hollywood's pay gap. It was revealed that Amy Adams made far less than Bradley Cooper on the profits of American Hustle, even though she played a lead role and had more screen time. But behind the camera, the gender imbalance is especially stark. There are 5 times more men than women working on top-grossing films. That's the same ratio of men to women in active duty. And that number hasn't changed since the 90s. Also, only 1.9% of blockbusters in the last 2 years were directed by women. I spoke with Maria Geiss, an indie filmmaker with 20 years of experience in Hollywood.
It's really extraordinary and hypocritical, I think, that in liberal democratic Hollywood, we have the worst numbers of gender discrimination of any industry in the United States. It really is that bad.
She was fed up with sexism in the Directors Guild of America, an 80-year-old group of mostly men, which Geiss says sets the tone of the industry. So she called on the ACLU to intervene.
Hollywood is an industry, and Hollywood is not exempt from our civil rights laws. I really felt that if the ACLU didn't come through for me and for us women directors, that I wasn't going to be able to do anything.
The ACLU filed an official complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Tinseltown is a boys' club, Geiss says, and nobody wants to take a risk by hiring a female director. What do you say to someone who says, well, what does it matter that there are women in the industry?
When you have a woman director, then you're going to get a more accurate picture of gender and more authentic portrayals of women. Our television shows and our feature films are the cultural voice of our civilization. And when you have the cultural voice of our civilization reflecting just one gender, then you're not getting an accurate portrayal of what our world looks like.
The evidence is clear. So when will it finally be a wrap for sexism in film?